In today's news, we see 20% of the BVI's population being vaccinated. However, just a few BVIlanders are taking the vaccine.
2 weeks given for registration of the port users.
We also see a local law firm committing $50,000 to the Enis Adams Primary School.
Definitely. President Joe Biden announces his intent to nominate Virgin Islander Adrianne Todman. We're going to get into that details and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News. Welcome everybody. It's Thursday, March 25th, 2021, a beautiful day in the British Virgin Islands. Both my colleague and I are happy to be here. Absolutely.
For real, it's always a pleasure coming to you guys to bring your local, regional, as well as international content and have a good laugh, of course.
Absolutely.
Ron, lots going on as we head into today's newscast.
Yes, of course, the government seeks to stop foreign charter vessels. We're going to get into that detail later on. From stealing our local business, they say. Some external cops already here. Narcotics specialists are coming, says police chief. Wahoo Mania returns to VG. I know that's an exciting event that many persons are looking forward to, especially during these very difficult times. Cops nabbed severals for drugs, firearm, and other serious charges. We're going to get into the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force weekly arrest blotter. And of course, legislators past and present must unite on singular voice against the Commission of Inquiry, says Claude Skelton-Klein.
We also see, besides just over 7,000 persons being vaccinated in the BVI, we're getting into the details as to, why persons are still hesitating as it relates to taking the vaccine. In a very, very touching story in which corporate responsibility is exemplified. We see a local law firm adopting the Enis Adams Primary School, a massive $50,000 committing to the school's development. But first, the viewers, over 20% of the population has received their first jab of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine here in the British Virgin Islands. Now, this is according to Minister of Health and Social Development, Honorable Carvin Malone, who said, and I quote, "As of March 23, 2021, approximately only 7,000 first doses have been administered to our elderly, our medical and uniformed and frontline staff, and to those in the territory who would have willingly consented." End of quote. Now, the health minister, within his March 25th WhatsApp media update, also indicated that the BVI will inherit a total of 32,000 shots of the vaccine by April 2nd, compliments of the United Kingdom. He said, and I quote once again, "As of today, March 25th, the BVI received 20,000 doses of vaccines, and the UK has indicated that on March 31st, a further 12,000 doses of the vaccine and relevant supplies will be delivered. In total, by April 2nd, 2021, the BVI would have received 32,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine from the United Kingdom. The expiration dates on these vaccines are May 31st and June 30th, 2021, end of quote. Now, viewers, in a previous report that is on March 4th, a statement by the minister stated that the territory is also set to benefit from an additional 12,000 shots, and that is, of course, promised by COVAX, which is a body mobilized to ensure equitable vaccine distribution throughout the world. Now, proactively contracted in August of 2020, the minister said that the COVAX consortium for the provision of vaccines, when they become available, he said that notifications of the delivery of 12,000 doses have been received and receipt is being finalized. That was our Honorable Minister for Health, Honorable Carvin Malone. Now, the territory also benefited from an additional 2,000 shots, which was also previously donated by Dominica. That was March 7th, as a result of a partnership with the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, which was rallied on behalf of the British Virgin Islands. Now, even though 20% of the population has been vaccinated so far, we are now learning that BVIslanders are hesitant to come forward for their first jab. In an exclusive interview with 284 Media, nurse Gretchen Hodge-Penn shared that a very low number of BVIslanders are coming forward to take the vaccine. Mrs. Hodge-Penn said that she has been volunteering at the Catholic Church Center in Rotong, and while the community has responded well in the beginning, many persons are still very hesitant. She said, and I quote, "We were very active in the beginning. We were averaging like 160 people within a 4-hour period that we were doing the vaccines. But within the past couple of weeks, we've really slowed down to 70, 60, 65, just about that." She also went on to say, and I quote once again, "The people coming in now, our BVIslanders, are the lowest numbers I have seen, and that causes a need for concern. I'm hoping that they too take time to do research, ask questions, and within the time frame, they will come forward to take the vaccine." That was Nurse Hodge-Penn speaking to us just yesterday. Now, according to these sentiments, adding to these sentiments, was also Honorable Malone, who stated, and I quote, just today, he said, "BVI residents of other nationalities have agreed and in large percentages have predominantly been vaccinated. Our local population have been rather hesitant and only a small percentage have agreed and have been vaccinated." End of quote. Now, according to the minister, he said, and I further quote, "A community outreach committee has been formed and been purposed to educate and inform all residents of the importance and benefits of being vaccinated." End of quote. Now, as we all know, while phase 1 was scheduled to prioritize the healthcare and frontline workers, and of course, persons with underlying conditions, we did see many other persons showing up in huge numbers at the various vaccination sites to be included. But we also hear a reiteration from the governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency Governor John Rankin, who said that by July 31st, the entire BVI would have received, or at least would have been offered, the first 2 doses of the vaccine. And that, of course, is in accordance to the United Kingdom's mandate to vaccinate the entire population by that date.
Well, Jovan, we definitely have to set out to have a national campaign across the territory of the Virgin Islands. That is important. We continue to hear from the government ministers, and we here at 284 Media, as well as other agencies, continue to research and bring to the forefront health professionals. But I think holistically, a national campaign is very important. When you look at the figures earlier mentioned by the Honorable Minister, 32,000 shots, that at least gives half the population of the territory, almost half the population, at least the first jab if they want to. And then in addition, that gives the entire population, almost the entire population of the BVI, the first jab if they want to, and then half of the BVI population, both jabs, if they want to. So we see where it's not that we're not being offered the vaccines, it's not that they're not available, it is whether or not persons are willing to. And of course, we have to look at the fact that these vaccines do expire by a certain time. So persons don't have as much time as they would like to think they have to make a decision.
No, I agree with you on a national campaign. I think, and I'm glad to see the minister finally acknowledging that a committee response team has been formed to really get the word out, because I think the hesitation comes not only in the fact that it's new, but not a lot of there's a lot of misinformation and not enough confirmation going around, and the people need to be educated. I mean, this is a big deal. And I think, like you said, it's not just it should be a joint effort, not just the private sector coming forward, not just when the media asks questions, but holistically a campaign that really caters to all of the concerns, the pros and cons
Let's consider the fact that perhaps we're at election time again. Let's go host to host. All right. Continuing on the local scene, the British Virgin Islands Ports Authority advises that the period of March 25th to April 8th is being allocated for the full registration and licensing of everyone needing to access the port facilities for transactions such as agents and companies with commercial vehicles. After April 8th, only registered users will be allowed to access the port facilities. Now, the application for registration can be collected at the port's port parcel lobby at Pasir Place reception. Now, or access, of course, online through the BVI Ports Authority website at forms and publications at bviports.org. The 2-week period given for registration is in an effort for the BVI Ports Authority to further adjust its processes for more efficient port operations. Now, the BVI Ports Authority is thanking all stakeholders for their understanding, cooperation, and support. The authority also looks forward to continued engagement with the stakeholders as it works toward further streamlining and, of course, upgrading its systems for greater security, efficiency, and effectiveness to keep the BVI moving. A very important story. We want our viewers to be advised of this as the Port Authority continue to streamline, especially when it comes to the COVID-19 era, making sure that protocols are in place. Your operations and your vessels, whether it's individuals or corporations, must be registered. So please take note.
And we do applaud their efforts and especially updating the media and the general public on all these new procedures in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic. And as we continue to adapt and move forward, of course, viewers, still ahead of the break, we see the Enis Adams Primary School being adopted by a local law firm. So many good details to get into when we return to 284 News. Stick with us.
The win.
What are the hell?
I'm freaking out.
Gender is about these people.
It's always a pleasure coming to you live and direct from the
What's poppin'? What's really good?
Davis has won it for the Lakers.
Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and our partners that hold us down. It's season 2 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, taking you on the most inspiring journey with the best and brightest distinguished gentlemen of the BVI. Raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men like you've never seen them before. Governor Augustus J.U. Jasper, Jovan Klein, Neil Klein, and so much more. Turning modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen with yours truly, Ron Grant, a 284 Media production. Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Now, as we move on the local scene, we do see a local law firm that is Kobe and Kim BVI LP. They have now joined the Adopted School fraternity and is now the new parent of the Enis Adams Primary School. Now, the law firm has committed a whopping $50,000 to the school and joins the Carrie Olsen, Digicel, Harneys, Ogier, Rotary Clubs of Tortola, as well as of Rotag, and most recently the Belmont community as fellow sponsors through the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture's Adopt a School program. Now, the Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, thanked Kobe and Kim BVI LP for their generous donation, which he said will go towards assisting with the needs of the school. Now, the chairman and director of Youth Affairs and Sports, Mrs. Brenda Letsam-Tai, said that the Adopt a School Program Committee embarked on a revitalization campaign to reestablish past sponsors for schools, and that this is the second sponsor to have come on board since the hurricanes Irma and Maria. She said, and I quote, The school will receive monies over a 5-year period with a commitment of $10,000 each year. She also added, I invite all those parent and partner sponsors in the Adopt a School program who have lapsed in their commitment to jump back in and start active sponsorship of the respective schools. We will be embarking on a recommitment campaign shortly, so expect to hear from us. End of quote. Now, the Adopt a School program is a public-private partnership and is an opportunity for businesses in the community to act on their corporate, social, and community responsibility through a school while positively impacting the lives of young students in the territory. Now, for more information on the Adopt a School program, you can feel free to contact the chairman. That is Mrs. Brenda Letsam Tai, at the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports, of course. Ron, such a great story. I know prior to Armand Maria, this program was actually alive and well, and
Yes.
Many companies really coming on board and lending support to our students and by default the schools. I'm really happy to see that this is our second sponsor to not just come back on the program, but to really commit in a significant way.
Absolutely.
And trusting that the rest of corporate BVI can follow suit.
Well, Jovan, if we keep this up as a community, corporate community, I think we'll be in a remarkable shape as it pertains to our educational institutions, making sure that they have all they need, and again, taking some of that pressure off of the government of the Virgin Islands, making sure that it's a collective effort. So kudos to that team. On the international scene, President Joe Biden announced his intent to nominate Virgin Islander Adrianne Todman as Deputy Secretary for Housing and Urban Development. Now, Ms. Todman was born and raised in St. Thomas, USVI, where she attended St. Peter's and Paul schools from K to 12. Ms. Todman later worked for Ron DeLugo and his legislator as director, as she is a lifetime member of Washington, D.C. based VI Association. A proud parent, Ms. Todman's daughter represented the USVI during the 2016 Cherry Blossom Festival in D.C. Now, according to the White House correspondent, Ms. Todman is currently the CEO of the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials. Now, before joining the NAHRO in 2017, Todman served as the executive director of the District of Columbia Housing Authority and served in several career positions in housing development as a manager of housing for a $50 million grant competition that focused on the redevelopment of distressed public housing sites. Then as a policy aide to both Office of Public and Indian Housing. Now, and of course, the Office of Secretary, where she worked with the staff across the housing development programs on policy solutions and streamlining implementations. Governor Albert Bryan, of course, lauded this nomination and said, and I quote, "I want to congratulate Adrianne Todman on the announcement of her nomination and also thank her for being yet another example for the nation and the world of the quality of leadership that comes out of the U.S. Virgin Islands." He continued by saying, Ms. Todman is an established expert in the affordable housing sector who has decades of experience working in various roles in housing development, and she is the current CEO of the National Association of Housing Redevelopment Association and Housing Redevelopment Officials. Her nomination only adds to the bright promise being shown by the Biden administration. Now, the governor added, the Brian Roach administration looks forward to working with her and her staff, particularly on the housing issues facing the territory of the U.S. Virgin Islands, which are the same issues that have been the mainstream of her long and successful career. Ms. Todman is widely recognized for her accomplishments in the affordable housing industry. She has also served as a legislative director in the then Congressman John DeLue's office and a long-serving delegate representing the U.S. Virgin Islands, where Todman was born and raised. Now, Jovan, this is not the first time that a U.S. Virgin Islander has left these shores and traveled all the way to the White House. And I think it continues to speak to the ability of Virgin Islanders, both in the BVI and USVI, the competency and the fact that at the end of the day, because we come from small islands does not mean our dreams and our visions and our careers have to be small. We can travel and make our territories proud.
Absolutely, and leave a positive imprint. In Ghana, we say small axes cut down big trees.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm very happy to see Virgin Islanders flying that flag high and really representing, but of course leaving a lasting legacy, not just for the Virgin Islands, but of course by default really improving wherever and blooming wherever they are
I
planted.
agree.
Absolutely love to see it. Now, viewers, as we move on, we're going to go to a very quick commercial break, but when we come back, there's more. Stick with us.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top up or?
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, as we move on, Virgin Islanders who are now interested in pursuing studies at the master's level in areas including risk management are now being invited to apply for scholarships from the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility Segregated Portfolio Company, that is the CCRIF FSPC. Now, the scholarships are being offered to Caribbean nationals, including Virgin Islanders, and are open to study in areas including disaster risk financing, disaster risk management and modeling. We also have climate change or climate studies, civil with environment and climate engineering. We also have actuarial science, meteorology, or an MBA with a major in risk management and or insurance or a related field. Now, this year, the company will provide up to 7 scholarships, including one, an extra regional scholarship valued up to $40,000 for students accepted into the university into the United Kingdom, United States, or even Canada. They also have 6 Caribbean scholarships valued at up to $11,000 each for students accepted into select programs at the University of the West Indies, the University of Technology in Jamaica. We also have the Northern Caribbean University in Trinidad and Tobago, or the University of Suriname. Now, these scholarships are tenable at select universities in the Caribbean, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, and Canada, and of course can be pursued online or face-to-face, considering all that's going on with COVID-19. Now, all citizens of CARICOM or CCRIF member countries in the Caribbean are eligible to apply for these scholarships. Since the launch of the CCRIF scholarship program back in 2010, 93 scholarships have been awarded so far to Caribbean nationals, totaling $1.4 million to complete undergraduate or postgraduate programs at the University of the West Indies and other universities in the Caribbean, the USA, and the United Kingdom. Now, CCRIF SBC is a segregated portfolio company owned and operated and registered in the Caribbean. It limits the financial impact of the catastrophic hurricane, earthquake, as well as the excess rainfall events to Caribbean and Central American governments by quickly providing short-term liquidity when a parametric insurance policy is triggered. Now, the company was developed under a technical leadership of the World Bank and with a grant from the government of Japan. Now, the deadline for those applications, if you are interested in applying for the 2021, of course, CCRIF scholarship program, that deadline is fastly approaching it is June 15th. So please visit the CCRIF website. That is ccrif.org/scholarship for additional details. Now, Ron, we are not part of the CARICOM, but we are an associate member, and I'm very happy to see that by default or by extension of that relationship, the BVI Virgin Islanders are now eligible to apply for this. And I think it's even more critical to where we are positioned in the region, being that we are in a hurricane-prone region, and we need that expertise. I know DDM continues to do a great job, but I'm sure they can use some more help. Yes.
Yeah, as you mentioned, not only where we are, but as we've seen over the past few years with the depth of natural disasters, I think risk management is definitely a needed aspect here in the Virgin Islands. And I think there are many young persons who would like to take advantage of this opportunity. So we wish them the very best. Now, closing out on the local scene, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force recently made several arrests for drugs, theft, as well as an indecent assault case between March 7th and March 20th, 2021. They are as follows. Arrested and charged is Alend Williams, 23, a native of St. Vincent, residing in Purcell Estate, for unlawful possession of marijuana. Bail was granted in the sum of $5,000. Arrested and charged Adicia Adonis, 22, of Joes Hill, for unlawful possession of marijuana. Bail was granted in the sum of $5,000. Arrested and charged Dequante Dabrio, 23, of Boggles Bay, for unlawful possession of marijuana. Arrested and charged is Hadimis Budu, 27, of Towers Estate, West End, for driving without a driver's license and driving when not covered by an insurance. Bail was granted in the sum of $3,000. Arrested and charged is Rojet Simon, 29, of native of Jamaica, residing in Bellevue, for carrying an unlicensed firearm and illegal entry. Arrested and charged is Gary Gonzalez, 48, of Hannah's Estate, for causing grievous bodily harm with intent. Arrested and charged is Marvin Gums, of no fixed address, for theft. And arrested and charged is Kit Hodge, arrested for unlawful possession of cocaine, a resident of Foy Hill. Arrested and charged is India Rashid Karen, 45, a native of Guyana, residing in Greenland, for indecent assault. Bail was granted in the sum of $10,000. Kevon Stevens, 21, of the Valley Virgin Gorda, for reckless driving, failing to stop at the sound of a siren and indecent language. That completes the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force weekly arrest blotter. Jovan, another week, another day of local, regional, and international content.
Hands full, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force. Before we go, we just want to congratulate a police officer who has made local history. I should say, well, after just about 15 years, being called to the bar. This is definitely someone who moved up the ranks, began really at the base of the police and moved his way up to sergeant, and is now looking to be promoted to inspector, of course, going through what he needs to do. But we want to congratulate Mr. O'Neill Baca. He graduated just today, 2 p.m., the virtual ceremony. If you missed it, you can go back to our page to view. But tomorrow, an exclusive interview with him that we are definitely looking forward to. Quite a ray of inspiration and hope in these trying times, and we want to continue to wish Mr. Baca all the best as he moves forward to this next chapter.
Remarkable stuff, and I think that serves as an example to other persons within the law enforcement agency. They can do it too.
Absolutely. Now, viewers, that is all the time we have for today, but we want to remind you of some of the remarkable interviews we've done this week. I know we touched on the makeup workshop, that is Makeup and Margaritas, that is coming up, and Ron, you definitely...
We did the Football Association. They're presently in Curacao doing remarkable things, continuing to excel, and of course, staying safe.
Absolutely. Viewers, if you didn't have a chance as yet, feel free to binge via our Facebook or even our website. Our website is 284media.com. We have quite a number of articles that we are not able to cover every day, our short 30 minutes newscast, but feel free to head over to our website to view those articles and share. Sharing is good, all right? We're also on Facebook at 284media, and we're also on Instagram and Twitter at 284BVI. As usual, it was my pleasure. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. It's always a pleasure bringing to you local, regional, and of course, international content. We're 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here in Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. Bye-bye. Have a happy Thursday.